Fiction came out. To you and me, this is basically like the godfather of our generation. It forever changed the way that films were made and the way that films were viewed. Breakout star of that film, in our opinion, Tim Roth. The guy went on to achieve incredible success, including an Academy Award nomination, great roles. Recently, he picked up a TV show on Fox called Lie to Me, and he invited us down to the set to hang out, and we did not say no to Tim Roth.
Well, what are the benefits of telling the truth? And what are the benefits of lying?
We're on the set of the show Lie to Me. You play Dr. Cal Lightman. We're actually in your office. Tell me just a little bit about this show.
This first season's been like a big experiment for us. You know, just trying to find out what the show is, playing around with the character for a good 5 months to see where I feel he's best.
Dr. Lightman, based on somebody who does this sort of reading of emotions and deceptions via human ticks and tell signs and whatnot to help the authorities out. This is based on somebody real?
Yeah, it's a guy named Paul Ekman who's the sort of world authority on it. He's a delightful man, and he came up with the sort of facial coding system, which is now used around the world. And it's beyond just the sort of criminal detection thing, which we've been playing around with on this. It goes into all walks of life. For example, would you let this man in Vegas, you know, and sit at the poker table, because he can look at you, he can look at the way you're playing cards and decide on what you've got in your hand. Do you want that?
No, I wouldn't let him.
Okay,
no.
Jury selection. If you had him in jury selection, would he be the kind of guy?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
On whose side? On whose team? Working for which side? Right. I mean, that's the thing about him is that
that's the greatest question about this show. Is you, after watching it, and hopefully you will get this after the first 13 episodes or season 1, it leaves the viewer with the ultimate question: is, if I could have this ability, would I want it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, what Paul talks about is that you have to make a contract with the world in a way, because once you learn this stuff, you can't switch it off. So you're going to see it in everybody. You can see it in your children. You can see it in your wife. You're going to see it in your friends. You have to assume that the people that love you most are deceiving you for the best of reasons, not for the worst. Right. And once you figure that out, then you can actually have a good life.
To have you, such a great actor, on American TV, on Fox, is great. Was that something that you wrestled with just a little bit?
With regards to being a film actor and then moving into television, I don't think there's a snobbery in this country about that anymore.
Right. There was, though, at one time.
There was at one time. There never really was in Britain, because people moved from the theatre to film to television and back and forth all the time. Right. You were working, you were doing all right. But now with Lawrence Fishburne and Harvey Keitel was doing something, and you can go in and out now.
And not even just with the actors. I mean, with the directors, with the budgets. I mean, you look at some of these shows now, and they are like motion pictures.
Like American television, I think, has gone through a complete revolution. Right. And British television is trying to catch up.
Well, we also got recently. Your whole reality thing came over here.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
So, can you take that back?
I would, and the
paparazzi,
and maybe
take that back
as well. Yeah, and lose it somewhere mid-Atlantic.
If I can ask you quickly about, we're a big music show. I wanted to ask you, just being a fan of Tupac Shakur, what it was like to work with him. You worked with him on his last film, Gridlocked.
Yeah.
Weren't you going to see him?
Yeah,
for some
we were going to meet up for ADR. Yeah, the day he was leaving Vegas, he'd been down there to see the fight, and he was coming back to LA, and we were going to be meeting up the next day, I think it was, or the day after, to do ADR voice. But we were all looking forward to it, and then we got the news that he wasn't going to make it.
Right. Well, what was he like to work with, and what can you share with us about Tupac?
I found him to be incredibly, like a delightful man. Very, very intelligent, very hardworking. Actually, to a point where he was coming in tired, and I asked him why he was so tired, apart from normal filming regimen, and he said no, well, he was writing, producing, and directing, appearing in videos. When he was leaving the set, he would go to a recording studio and record. He would do it. So he was overachieving. Right. His output was extraordinary. I've never seen anything quite like that. And he's always writing. My feeling was that he was a leading man, and it had leading man potential. And if he was around now, he'd be doing some pretty big films, pretty interesting films.
I can't believe you've been in the States for nearly 20 years. I'd like to find out your secret, because you're so quiet in this town.
Yeah, I quite like that.
But when you first got here, I had heard that you had done an interesting sort of...
We did a road trip. Like, me and my friend Paul, who was my best mate at the time, he used to jump freight trains and not, or, you know, I know that's illegal, but, so he didn't. We did fight a bit, you know, because you know, the worst thing in the world is a road trip. That's my best mate. I'll go on a road trip, fantastic, and you know, 3 hours into the
road trips always sound better in theory than they really are. They sound great over a beer,
and
but they're terrible.
Terrific in hindsight.
Yeah, right.
You know, and the hitching, the people you meet when you hitch, not recommend that, but
yeah, right.
We did it.
That's just what a way to go see the country. Though.
And the people that don't pick you up are really predictable. They're the ones that are driving the hippie vans.
Right.
You know, the Volkswagen van.
Yes.
Those ones you would assume, they're going to pick you up because
and they don't pick you up.
Drive straight by.
Wow.
In fact, you after a while just take your thumb down. You know.
That's because they don't want to share their weed, probably.
Nothing. Yeah. No weed.
Yeah.
They're all in their 60s now.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much thank you for having us on the set. This is a real nice treat for us. And congratulations on the show.
All right. Thanks.
You well-deserved time off. Enjoy.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Care.
That was awesome. Great chance to hang out with Tim Roth. Really, really cool guy. Be sure to check out Lie to Me on Fox, 8 p.m. Wednesday nights. Again, on Fox. We'll take a break when we get back. Black Kids from Florida are going to perform, and the lovely Miranda Kerr, you know her from Victoria's Secret. She's next.